Good afternoon, everyone. We are thrilled to bring you a special and unique episode today. This time, we're talking with an entrepreneur who's not only an inventor, but also a physician. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Jameel Durrani from Johnston, Pennsylvania. Dr. Durrani, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I was looking at my notes and we started to work together in 2022. You were, I think, at the time starting with an idea, a sketch of a device you wanted to bring to life. Am I right?
Correct. The idea was with me for quite a while, and when we interacted, that was the start of the actual production steps,
Okay.
production stages. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. You were looking for somebody to help you out at that time.
Correct.
And it was so before talking about the product itself, let's talk about the man. Can you tell us a little bit about your medical background and your current practices?
Sure. So I graduated from medical college in 1992 in Pakistan from Nishtar Medical College. I relocated to the US in 1995, finished my residency in 2000, and then my fellowship in 2003. And since 2003, I have been providing pulmonary critical care and sleep medicine services um, nearly across the US, mostly focused in Pennsylvania, but I'm also licensed in Kentucky, Indiana, and Washington State. And from time to time, I had provided services over there. I had relocated to Dubai in 2008 and 2009 to start a brand new US healthcare system based hospital there,
Wow.
which still exists to this day. And I was the pioneer intensivist for that
Wow.
hospital.
Interesting.
And then I returned back to my same position in Pennsylvania that I had taken the assignment from. Since 2020, I have been with 23. I have been with Geisinger Health System as their pulmonary critical care and ICU staff at the Geisinger Health West.
Okay.
I am also an assistant professor of clinical medicine with the Geisinger Commonwealth School of Medicine. And I do my clinical practice at Port Matilda and Geisinger Lewiston Hospital for my inpatient services.
Interesting. So, what was the turning point that led you to start developing your own medical device? What happened exactly?
As being a lung specialist, one of the major procedures that we do is placement of chest tubes and drain fluid around the lungs. And I noticed that the technology that we have has not changed in its principles or its devices since Roman times.
Wow.
So we still use spears. We modified their name and we call them trocars now. And we use kind of improvised common scissors and we call them Cali clamps and we use them. So I think the systems and medicine was winging different things just to get by. And it's one of the most painful procedures in medicine is to have a chest tube placed.
Okay.
Uh, and the challenges associated with that for me were I knew from the start there was a margin for improvement. Something better could be done. And doing these procedures day in and day out, I realized that, well, these simple measures could help. It started out with a design from actually looking at a trocar that I looked at it and I said, if it is designed in a certain way, it definitely can decrease patient discomfort and add more accuracy to our procedures. From that thought came a draft design on a piece of paper, and then my first prototype was actually carved out of cardboard,
Okay.
and I had to then show it to somebody to let them know what I was making. And they guided me actually. God bless those people. They guided me to the right people who would actually come up with a 3D prototype.
Okay.
Now,
So,
between this idea and the actual 3D prototype, there are like 7 to 8 years. But it was very exciting to see how things one thing led to the other.
that was kind of my next question. So it was not immediately know how to turn that idea into a product, but it was more a trial and error, period, I guess.
Correct. Yeah, it's self-learning as well. Plus, I think when we think of an idea, we are very clear about it, but to be able to enunciate that to somebody else to describe and for them to understand. Once I realized people were getting on board where I needed help, I realized it is solid, and we moved from one step to the other.
As a physician, I'm always curious, how do you balance your time between clinical duties that you have and running a business?
Well, medicine has a lot of burnout. So, being the load of responsibility, being declared as the ultimate healers, and they entrust the all the burden of helping the society to the providers, it can have a lot of burnout. So, things that you do on a day in and day out basis, if you have a idea that you feel can help improve how we provide those services, it actually adds excitement to our life.
Yeah,
And that keeps the candle burning. Maybe things can be done better.
yeah,
Um, by no stretch of imagination, I am not a gold digger in terms of going for the $1 million idea, but I think my driving force is how I can help the humanity with a better design and with a better way to do the same procedure that will be needed for all the times to come. Uh,
yeah.
so that led me to, for me, it is actually a refreshing thing to have rather than, I don't look at it as departing from medicine. I look at it as contributing to medicine.
Yeah. And from my own experience, I think the best product are the one that resolve, an issue that's current right now. And most of the time is coming from physician who's doing the procedure over and over and over again. And they see how it could be improved. Doesn't have to be, expensive stuff. Doesn't have to be,
Exactly.
very complicated. Sometimes it's very, very simple solution. So, how did you fund your funding the early stages? Did you self finance, raise capital, or get support from your hospital?
Well, there were four ingredients. There was blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of cash on my own self. Um, so no outside funding. It was if there were different tracks. I did look into NIH funding. I did look at, but the part of my career where I was looking into those options, the NIH is heavily focused on junior or rising investigators,
Hmm.
and they do not look at anybody who is established in practice as a investigator. They think of them as business people, or so there was no direct insight. I did apply to few funding sources, but the world was too complicated in the NIH realm. And so I essentially utilized my own resources,
Okay.
my own independent time away from my clinical duties. Where other people were deer hunting and the gardening, I was actually tinkering with the idea of how to further advance it. So,
Yeah. So you had to deal obviously with FDA regulation. What's your experience with that? With dealing with FDA regulation while still practicing medicine. Is it something easy? Were you were guided to how to do it?
I mean, we as physicians obviously look at FDA as the ultimate authority controlling the food and drug world. But dealing with FDA, I realized that FDA is a truly helpful entity from a complete novice from a regulatory standpoint. There was so much help available that I felt guided at every step. And We contacted FDA around 2022, 21, around that time, because we were getting close to the actual product for our proof of concept. But our discussion with the FDA was for the specifications developer and initial importer.
Okay.
And I found a wealth of information. I did not need to hire a consultant and where I got stuck, I emailed them, and to my surprise, I got responses within 24 hours. I was surprised how efficient FDA is dealing with the whole country.
Um, do you feel that your clinical credibility, help you open doors with hospital and other physician about your product?
That is a very complicated question. First of all, I'm not a salesman. So the sales world is totally foreign to me, but I am definitely very eager and interested in engaging on a clinical platform with fellow care providers. Yeah, it is something that I cannot be vouching for my own product, which obviously is not something that is, currently being utilized by any of the major healthcare systems. But at any clinical point, I have discussed it with leaders in the field when I was doing my cadaver testing, whoever saw it, and I went up to Johns Hopkins to, show the products, on a kind of a person-to-person basis, and they had good ideas and they said yes, the idea makes sense, but they had very valuable feedbacks. In terms of putting it into marketing standpoint, I am definitely looking for great resources, and one of the great resources that I was fortunate to get introduced to was Dava Medical, and they have been very helpful in getting us to at least to the market side of things, where I have zero to minus degree of information. So no,
we tried.
no, I think that it is amazing once you go on to the development of devices side. The world is a whole different realm, and it has very little to do with the clinical provider side of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're totally right that that's our experience. Also, say it's physicians are super good to detect those what's working, what's not working, but the business side, it's not something that everybody can do necessarily. It's not that easy, and to understand where to go, how to do it, that's another story. Um, have there been moment where you thought about stepping away from one to focus to another? I mean, stepping out of the clinician, being a clinician, and moving to more being a business guy.
I mean, I love being a physician, and I don't foresee myself being a desk office CEO with zero, patient contact.
Yeah.
So I think as we mature through life and we go, I do look forward to getting a more behind the scenes role, but still deeply entrenched in healthcare. And this could be in the sort of education, research and development, newer devices, being, providing my input into device development. I do look forward to that role, but sit in an office, put a tie and suit, and not have any interaction with patients, that's not my dream.
Okay, perfect. Um, what keeps you going when it all feel like it's too much sometimes?
Well, it could be reading a good book. It could be traveling. For me, gardening is an escape from the other challenges in life. So, and traveling, I love traveling. It's just that I don't have enough time. But for me, those are my escapes. If I get a moment, I'll utilize one of the two. So.
So this one is going to be a very tricky question. What's more stressful, a code blue or a product launch?
Well, see, that depends on exposures. We have been handling Code Blue for life, so
Yeah,
that is not that much. Product launch is a giant nightmare for me because I have never done it and I have
yeah.
zero idea about it. So definitely, product launch is a bigger challenge at this point.
Okay, now let's talk about the product itself. And I'm going to try to bring here my screen, and I don't know why I'm not able to do it right now. Okay, yeah. So, so let's talk about the product itself. So, can you, describe, in simple word, what are we looking for right now?
Yeah, so the JD Hook stylet is the actual introducer for the chest tube. That was the original idea, how to place the chest tube safely. And the design of this stylet or introducer is the specific nature that makes the device safe to insert.
Okay.
This device is not pointed. It can be inserted with least amount of risk of injury to the lungs. It automatically positions itself away from the lungs as it is inserted so that it minimizes the risk of lung injury. Now, once we had patented the device introducer, then we developed the chest tubes that go with that. And the chest tubes are the second part that we have developed at this point called the silicone chest tubes. The main features are they allow for faster and safer placement of the chest tubes, minimizing the misplacement risk, and they can also be retained in place without any sutures, which
Okay.
I believe are big advantages compared to the conventional devices in the market.
So I know you touched about this, but if I want to point out what are the key benefit for the patient for those two products.
Mhm. So it's a shorter procedure time,
Okay.
um, the less risk of lung injury. It is also sutureless retention. So safety is increased, the precision of the procedure is increased, the outcomes and the intended benefit is also maximized by draining the fluid or the air effectively. So those are the comparative benefits. Plus, this is a silicone catheter. Currently, silicone chest tubes are only available in very specialized environments like operation theaters, ICUs. They are not available to the emergency room doctors or the EMS teams in the field.
Okay.
Our expectation is that the Durrani chest tubes will be able to be placed in any environment with more safety and more precision compared to conventional devices.
Okay. So that's for the patient, but for the healthcare provider itself, why would they want to use this one?
Obviously, at the core of what we do is doing the best, outcomes for the patient and first do no harm. So this tube is less likely to puncture lungs. This tube is more likely to have faster, safer outcomes for the patient. The procedure time from a provider standpoint, the current chest tubes have close to 12 different steps. Our chest tubes have not more than 4 steps from start to finish. So
Okay.
it's a shorter procedure time for the provider, and obviously less discomfort for the patient.
Okay. And overall, when we look at the two product, are you expecting that it's going to cost more for the hospital, or is it going to be same price, or is it going to cost less?
I think it will be very competitively priced. And the stylets, we are marketing the stylets separately because stylets can also be used for as a tunneling devices for so many other devices to be placed under the skin. So the
Hmm.
stylet by its design gives directional control, which is not available in regular, straight spear-shaped trocars. The stylet can also be used for removing skin adhesions. It is something that has additional benefits other than just the chest tube placement.
Okay.
So those two devices, I believe, are actually from a finance or cost standpoint, are way more economical than the current devices.
Okay. Interesting. Um, what's your expectation in terms of staying in that business? Are you looking to bring more product? Do you have new ideas without saying anything confidential right now? But do you see other product that you can think of right now?
See, I have four ideas.
Okay.
Now, this was the major one out of those. And within the patent that we secured is additional device features that can be implemented. And in our world of medicine, we call them the blue oceans that have not been explored. To give you an idea, a general chest practitioner right now does not have the ability to look around the lungs. You have to be in an ultra modern interventional suite or in an OR with your chest cracked open or with a robotic camera looking into it in a very advanced environment. But the general chest practitioner out in the emergency room or in the field cannot look around the lung. And one of the future iterations actually makes that possible. And not only looking, taking tissue samples from that area as well.
Oh, interesting. So it's mean the product that you have currently, could be used in hospital, ASC. There's no real limitation here.
No, the benefit of this product is it levels the playing field for all healthcare environments. So the patients with collapsed lungs or blood around their lungs, they don't have trauma victims. They don't have to wait to get to the ER. These tubes can be placed even in the field by appropriately trained staff.
Okay.
These tubes don't need extensive, procedure time. They are shorter procedure time, so it would be easier and much more efficient availability of chest tube placements in all healthcare environments, not just in specialized environments.
Perfect. That was very interesting. I think we cover everything that I wanted to cover. Do you have a last word?
Um, I feel very excited about getting to this point where we are ready to market this product, and I feel there is a true potential for this product to take off. There was a moment for me where I was thinking how to name this product, and I believed, that we are at the point where I can put my name to it, that all the effort and I can stand behind the product. And that's when we decided we will name it the way we name it.
Well, all the great and simple product, in medicine, there's always a road somewhere where it's the inventor name, So we say it's very common. So I hope very, very long life for your product.
I think
We will be helping out. So if people are interested, they can reach out directly to you or they can reach out directly to us and we will be able to help out for sure. I thank you very much. It was very
thank you so
interesting
much.
and talk to you soon. Take care.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Take care. Thanks. Bye.